What's going on, guys? Christian here from CK Wraps. So while we wait for the rear hatch to dry, it's probably dry now actually, I've removed the front bumper, but I'm going to show you how to clear PPF the front headlights. Get it tacked. Okay, bring that back down. You can see that's nice and fizzy right there. That's what we want. And nice firm pass. I'm gonna hold it just for a couple seconds at the end right here. So why would you clear PPF the front headlights? Well, because generally when the car is new, you would want to protect that as well because they do take a lot of front end impact from stones and debris and so forth. Now, I believe the customer said that he replaced these lights not too long ago because they do not look like they're 12 years old to me. So we're gonna wrap over top of them using Vvivid Barricade, which is their clear PPF instead of color. So the whole car is basically being wrapped in Vvivid all the way through with the taillights tinted, the headlights PPF clear, and the rest of the vehicle being wrapped in the Color Fusion Gloss Cosmic Purple. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps boost it in order to create awareness for people looking to get into the industry and also for customers who are looking to have this type of work done for themselves. So what you're gonna need for this is obviously a PPF squeegee of your choice. Use anything you want. You're gonna need a knife. Forgot to mention that in the last video with the tailgate. What is this saying on there? Just want to make sure it's still recording. So it's recording, we're good. And that's about it. So we're gonna, oh, sorry, that's not about it. We're gonna need a clay bar because it's important to clay over top of the surface when it comes to installing clear PPF because lint will show through. On the color stuff, not so important. On top of that, the front end takes a lot of impact and stuff like that, so we want to clay it, and I clay bar the whole car anyways, whether it's old, new, whatever. I clay bar the whole car, but more specifically with clear PPF, you have to, even if it is a brand new car, you have to clay the whole car. That's just my opinion at least, or my experience. So I have a clay mitt. It's nothing fancy. You can get these on Amazon. Links to products in the description below as always. So isopropyl alcohol, a clean cloth, and we have our slip and our tack solution mentioned from the previous video of the rear hatch. So I'm gonna take first of all, we're gonna take our isopropyl alcohol, mist the cloth. We're gonna wipe around. Now we don't wrap around the edges when it comes to doing clear PPF. So I'm just gonna make sure you've got all the grease off and stuff like that. Now this is actually a little bit kind of harder because the front bumper's not on. And usually I would anchor the material to the front bumper, but there is no front bumper here. So easier and harder, I don't know, you choose, but I don't often PPF the lights when the front bumper is not on. Okay, we're gonna take our slip solution and our clay bar or clay mitt or clay anything, whatever you have. We're going to mist the surface, okay? Now we're going to clean the surface and you're gonna hear it, maybe. Hear that sandy, gritty type of sound? Yeah, we wanna get that off. I'm not gonna press too hard. And again, I'm just using slip solution to do this. Eventually, that sound will pretty much go away. These are little impurities stuck to the surface of the light. And we wanna get rid of that. Okay, one thing I also didn't do, and I like to be overly thorough when I do stuff, is use compressed air. So I'm going to use compressed air. It's not super necessary because it's better to do this when it's dry because it'll blow away the loose debris. But when it's wet, the loose debris isn't going to be picked up as easily by static. Plus we're gonna be wetting the material. So you don't really have to do it, but I usually do it anyway. So I'm gonna turn the volume down for this. Plug your ears just in case I forget. Okay, that's good enough. We're gonna wet the surface again. And now what we wanna do is we wanna squeegee the surface off. We do not wanna use a cloth because the cloth will leave fibers behind and that will, let's rinse it nicely actually here. And that will leave what looks like debris in your PPF. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna just rinse off my squeegee in case there's dirt on there. Okay, now I'm gonna take you to the table and show you how I set up the piece of material. So let's go right here and aim down just a bit. Cool. So I have my piece of material already cut. It's bigger, way bigger than I need. I've already done the other light as well. So let's wet the underside. So this is if this was colored right now, this would be color side facing down. So this is the material facing down with the release liner facing up right now. And the reason why I'm wetting this side is A, to help kill some static, and then B, you're going to see in a second, it's going to help keep the material stuck to the table while I remove the liner. So let's peel off it's hard when your fingers are wet, there we go. Let's peel off the release liner and wet it at the same time. So watch this, see how it sticks to the table? Perfect. Okay, I have my tack solution handy as well. Now what we're going to do is we're going to slip, I don't want to leave that like that for too long because it could pick up debris. We're going to slip the headlight. So let's get that camera in the spot right there. If I get debris under it, then I just get a new piece. Not a huge deal. It's not the biggest piece to worry about, okay? I have my piece ready here. Drop that right on there, okay? Don't let it slide off. Okay, and what you're going to see is sort of like where the material makes the most contact, which is basically through the middle, and then the outer areas are bunching up, okay? So this is very important. Let me zoom in so you have a much better view of this. And aim the camera down just a bit. Cool. All right, so throughout the middle here, you can see that the fingers are happening, it's smooth throughout the middle, and the fingers are happening throughout the exterior side. That's because this is the largest, flattest area right through here. So we want to tack the material, and in this case, I have to tack it to the actual light. Usually I tack it to the bumper. This could leave a glue line. Probably won't, but could. That's why I usually tack it to the bumper. We're going to pull back a section here and get it tacked. Okay, bring that back down. You can see that's nice and fizzy right there. That's what we want. And nice firm pass. I'm going to hold it just for a couple seconds at the end right here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my tack solution, bring it back here, and I'm going to tack this end because we want to tack the other side for when we stretch the material across. Okay, so now I'm going to take my hand, push on the material just like so. We can always alleviate tension at the end here if we have some. I have to make sure that this tightens up here. It's not good yet. That's because the material is just sliding slightly. And I'm trying to stay out of your way and do this. It's tricky. Okay, so that's nice and tight. I'm happy with that. We want to come through. Nice pass all the way from the beginning to the end. From one side to the other. So when I did the other side, I actually got debris under it and I had to redo it. So just FYI, it happens. Okay. What we can do now is we can cut, but what I want to do is I want to alleviate tension at the edge. Well, when you're cutting the material, this is a very important part and this is critical, is that you have to learn how to cut before doing this, because the idea here is to score the material and not push through it. We only push through once we get to the end on the exterior side where the material or where the excess material is hanging. So in order to make sure I have no tension at the edge, what I'm going to do is just let that up, let it off the fender. Just want to make sure that we have no tension here. Okay, we're chilling. That's good. Little bit of tack solution here. Okay, let's get some tack solution all under here. It's not really necessary, but because I'm not wrapping around the edge, but it's fine. Let's just put a bit more slip on here. And I have that one teeny tiny finger right there. And I want to get that down before I cut. So I'm going to push and hold. Now, ideally, you want to do the cutting when this is dry. There's no rush to do it. Go do something else. Unless it's like this is the only thing you're doing and it's the last thing you're doing, then okay. But you don't have to cut right away. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to get that up off the fender there, get that tucked in there just a bit more. And we do not want to wrap it around the edge because what will happen is it will flip up and attract dirt or get dirt stuck to it. Okay, so I'm going to squeegee this off so you can just see better. And so I can see better also. And on most lights, there's like a black perimeter where the silicone is or whatever, going pretty much all the way around. That's where you're cutting. So snap off a blade. I just snapped one off. This is super, super, super important. Okay, I'm gonna start at the very top over here. And you might hear squeaking, because that's sometimes what the sound is when you scoring the PPF. Or it makes like a scratching sound. Again, I'm trying to stay out of your way and do this. And I don't want to push hard at all because I do not want to obviously damage the light in any way. Again, this is trickier to do when it's wet because the material will be moving just slightly. Okay, so I'm cutting on the front side of the light and not around an edge. Again, because the material will end up flipping up and we just don't need to wrap right around the edge. It's completely pointless. Okay, so once I get to the very end here, watch this. I'm gonna get to the end, still apply the same amount of pressure, and then push through, and that creates my point where I can actually tear the material now. So watch. You can see the material is pulling. This is pulling that up just slightly. See how it's stuck on there? See that? It's pulling it up. That means I did not push through. Okay, let's go around this side. And we started somewhere right around there. Okay. Take my time, come back this way. So we're gonna come up here to the very top. I'm using my left index finger to sort of hold the material in place because it's still a little wet. And you see how close I'm looking at this because I want this to be very, very precise. Okay, come around our turn and meet the exact spot. Perfect. Okay, so again, bring that up. And where did I start? Keep going. Yeah, right around there. Cool. We have one more cut to do, so we're going to come from here. You can do this in as many attempts or cuts as you need, but try and minimize it. It does make it a little bit simpler. Okay, so a little bit more on the top side. But still sort of, I could wrap this around the top if I wanted to more, but again, completely unnecessary. Okay, come through here. We're gonna meet down here, so I'm gonna follow the line. It's a little tricky with transparent film on a transparent lens to see the edge sometimes. We do want to be pretty close because we want maximum coverage. Okay, so we're gonna start from here where the material's already scored. Has a tear point, and then come through, take our time right here. There we go. And that's it. Okay, so last step. I mean, I'm gonna go over this again later, but the last step is to just hit this with a bit more slip, okay? And then make sure that because we pulled the material away and it was still connected because we didn't cut through, it's going to have lifted or lift the edges a little bit, okay? So just make sure those edges are down. Nothing crazy, but just make sure they're down, just pressing not too firmly. If you press too firm, what happens is you sort of stretch the material and then it won't go down because you're sort of stretching it. Okay, so there we go. And then this light is immaculate. It's completely flawless. Let's grab a cloth to dry it off. All right, so you can see a bit better. And it actually looks newer now than it did before. That's because any like swirl marks or whatever that were there, the PPF will hide it. Okay, so it's super, super, super glossy. It looks great. I'll get you in closer so you can see more what this looks like. Let's get this off here. There we go. Okay, so it's still drying a bit, so it's not totally clear yet because it does take time to dry. But that's our light. That's just leftover water from when I wiped it, but sort of in here, it's the clearest. Actually, I'm way too close right now. I have to zoom out a bit. There we go. Okay, so it looks super nice, okay? And our edge down here, you can't even see it, okay? There's no way you're gonna see that. Like, there's a line here in the light that's just there. Why is it there? Whatever, that's how they made it. I mean, it's there because they fused the plastic together, but I believe, but it's there for a reason. And the customer didn't complain about that, or nobody complained about that when they bought the car. So why are they going to complain? They're not even going to see the edge, but they're only going to see the edge if it gets dirt on it. So again, the other light is already done. This is sort of like a quick, simple little video to show you that this is something that you could do on your own, whether it's your car, for a customer, whatever. Like, to do this job, this is like, I don't know, $150 to $300 roughly, like, of work with minimal cost and material, to be honest. A lot of times, like, these pieces here are sort of like scrap pieces. But again, there's time spent. You know, you have to bring the car in, you've got to prep it and so forth. So it takes you like an hour or so. So let's call it like $150. That's pretty reasonable to be able to do something like this. And again, headlights are expensive. Like, OEM ones are super expensive. Like, they're usually at least a couple $1,000s a piece. So why not protect them with PPF and, you know, have peace of mind when it comes to that. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helps boost it and helps create awareness for those looking to get into the business, and also for customers who are looking for people to get this kind of work done. I hope you enjoyed the video. I look forward to seeing you in the next part of the series, which will be the taillight tint or whatever this one comes first. I don't know. And then the walk around video of the final product all in the end. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Take care.